Hello, everyone. Welcome to the American Dream Podcast. I'm here with Mario Lopez.
Yeah, you already introduced me.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Bischoff, obviously. If you've listened to the podcast before, you know my name. But anyways, I'm here with...
Mario Lopez.
Okay, before we start today's episode, we want to talk about Instacart. We know that during the pandemic, many people are limiting their time inside store. Many have switched to online shopping. If you want a delivery service for your groceries, then Instacart is the online service for you. Avoid the hassle of going to crowded areas and risking your chance of contracting the virus. With Instacart, you select your store and pick out the items you want. Then a shopper will handpick your items depending on personal interest and needs in mind. Then all your items will be delivered in as little as an hour, safely to your doorstep. Follow the link in the description of every podcast episode or on our social media. Signing up using our link will help support the podcast. Thank you for the support, and now let's begin with today's episode. All right.
Yeah, so this episode we have our first guest.
Nice.
If you want to introduce him.
So today we have Abass Ceesay, a very old friend from high school and college. So Abass and I first met most likely junior year on the soccer team. Summer before junior year.
Summer before junior for during soccer practice.
And at that time, Brookhaven High School had just closed down, which was the school he was transferring from to Beechcroft High School. And so that's why he was also played soccer and football at Brookhaven. So when he transitioned to Beechcroft, he joined the soccer team, and we started summer camp, pretty much soccer summer camp, and that's where we met. So from that day forward, we've known each other, and we went to college at Audubon University together. And now he's here.
Cool. I actually didn't know he went to Otterbein.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did went to Abass.
Yeah. Are you're not in the same grade, right? Or were you?
We graduated together.
We graduated the same year.
Oh, I thought he was like maybe a year or two ahead of us.
No.
Oh, okay.
We were in the same grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I didn't know he came from Brookhaven. I thought he was there already. So there's like a lot of things I don't know about Abass.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to get started first, like beginnings. Were you originally born here?
I am originally from Gambia, West Africa. So Gambia is a small country, about a 2.5 million population.
Oh, okay.
So I would say Columbus population is even bigger than Gambia. So Gambia is basically surrounded by the Atlantic and is on 3 sides, and the other side is on Senegal. So we all what?
What is the original like language there? Is it just English, or you speak other
they
types?
use English as an official language because with the colonial history with British, but there are so many languages I can't even name the languages.
How many do you speak?
I am fluent in 3, but I understand another 2, so I'll say about 5.
Okay, what are those?
What?
Oh, sorry. I'll say 4 because the other one is English. So
Oh, okay.
4. So I am fluent in Mandinko and Wolof. I understand Jola and a little bit of Sarahule and a little bit of Fulani.
Oh, okay. Do you know any of those, Cindy?
I do not. Fulani I've heard of, but I don't know any of the other ones he mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a
really
lot.
interesting. Yeah.
That is that's more than I expected.
Do you use those common, or is it rare
Mandinko or
occasion?
Wolof is what I do. I use Wolof at home every day. Mandinko every once in a while when I talk to old friends or family friends
Nice.
who speak Mandinko. So
And how long did you grow up there? Like how many years?
I was there for 14 and a half to about 15 years there, and the other 7 here.
Okay. What was life like there?
I would say life was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to the average guy over there,
Mm-hmm.
I can't really complain.
Okay. What was your like average day, maybe
Average day,
experience? You know.
you wake up early in the morning, you go for a morning congregation, and from there, then you spend about 1.5 hour learning the Quran. Then from there, you go to school. Then after school, you go back to learning the Quran for about 1 hour, 2 hours. Sometimes it should be one and never. I'll sneak out and just go play soccer.
Okay.
And go play soccer for the rest of the evening. So
That's awesome.
basically, you have to be home by sundown.
Oh, okay.
Sundown, you gotta be home.
Is that because your parents make you, or
Yeah, those are
generally-
the rules for everybody. Everybody has to be home by sundown.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good. And everyone follows that, or is there certain people?
For the most part,
Were you someone that followed it?
I have to. But the consequence is you're gonna get a whooping if you don't follow the rules.
Yeah. Okay.
So the African parents aren't your typical parents.
So you're a Muslim?
Yes.
Okay. And were you very into Muslim culture, or maybe more modernized?
I'm not modernized. So basically, my dad was the imam of the community. So basically, he is the head of the congregation. So.
Okay.
So it is in the roots all the way down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
You came here at age like 15 years old?
Yeah, 15 and a half. I don't know. 15. I can't remember exactly, but
Yeah,
it's somewhere
around
around that range.
What was the reason for coming here?
My parents, my mom was already here, so and another three of my siblings were already here. So
Okay.
basically, it was just me and one of my other sisters left there.
Okay. And what was like the year difference? Were they there already for many years, or no?
Two of them were here for about 10, 12 years before we got here.
Oh, okay.
So mom has been going and coming back since around 2009, 2010. So
Okay.
she comes down here, spend 6 months,
Okay.
then go
Go
back
back
there.
there.
So when the cold comes,
She's
she
out.
tries to run away and go back to the province.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then so you came here and then enrolled right away in Brookhaven?
Yeah, I actually came right before fall. Right
Before
before
SM.
fall. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I came in around June of 2013. So I was here for like maybe like 2 weeks or 2 weeks and a half, and I just got started with school right away.
All right. What was your first like experience when you got here? Was there certain things that you were expecting didn't happen, and then were not expecting and did happen?
It's not like the way you see it in the movies.
Ah, I said that.
It's not like you see it.
What were you thinking then?
So like
as you
my
were on
first
your way?
impression when I got here was like I was like, "Damn, is this really America or I'm in someplace different?"
They took you somewhere else.
Oh man.
So that was my first impression. So I was like, and I got to go to my first soccer practice, and some other African American brothers were talking, and I was just looking at them. I was like, damn, are they speaking English? And these brothers were talking so fast, I couldn't even catch up with what they were trying to say. I was like, man, I don't understand everything here. So I started to get frustrated. Then I got lucky to meet one African brother named Kofi. He is from Sierra Leone.
Oh, okay.
And when I got hooked up with him, so after that things started clicking and smoothing. So he's still one of my best friends right now.
You meet him in school, or
Yeah, we
did
met
you
at,
meet
we
him
met, we met at
okay.
the school or during the fall camp for soccer.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What about like moving in or like finding places to live? Was that? Was there a particular area that you guys were already like settled, certain family members, or?
So my oldest brother was living with my mom on the north side.
Oh, okay.
We used to live in the same neighborhood with Daniel, so it's just right behind Beechcroft.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. So North Columbus.
No
Oh,
Columbus.
okay.
Yeah.
They were already there,
Yeah.
but then they had to go to Brookhaven.
Yeah. Yeah. So you lived there, but then you had to go to Brookhaven.
Yeah, I had to go to Brookhaven. I
Why?
don't really know
What was
why,
that?
because when I went down to the enrollment center, they just sent me to Brookhaven, so I didn't really know why they do that. Because there
so
was
dumb.
ES.
I know he literally lives right by like 10 minutes.
There's an ESL program in Beechcroft, so I don't know why they didn't take me to Beechcroft.
Yeah, I know they had ESL there,
Yeah.
and that's really weird.
Yeah.
I always hated that because that happened to me once.
Oh, okay.
I told them before. We moved into like a duplex,
Yeah.
so it's basically a house but it's split in two.
Mm-hmm.
And literally this one right here, Westerville City Schools, and the one right next to it is Columbus City. And it's so weird how they have it laid out. And I know certain like people are trying to fix that, where people can choose where to go. They're gonna implement certain things, but it just depends how they're gonna work it out.
Right.
Yeah, because oddly enough too, like the area I used to live on Shrag and Car Road. This other side of the Shrag Road is Westerville. Right across the street from me is Westerville.
Yeah.
And the other side of the other side is
Columbus City. Yeah, I never understood that. That's good. What about food? Were you eating at home mainly, or?
Yeah, we eat our traditional African Gambian meals, so
nice.
It's not a lot of eating out. I mean, and I didn't like the food.
No.
Restaurant foods here anyway, so I didn't even bother.
A lot of bread.
How about now? Do you still? How about now?
Even now, I cook for myself.
No. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, what kind of foods are traditionally made?
So traditionally, there's my favorite. We call it domoda. So basically, it's made out of peanut butter.
Peanut butter?
Yeah, peanut butter. So basically it's more like a soup. I wouldn't call it exactly a soup. So the peanut butter is basically, I usually cook it with a lamb. So you're gonna boil the lamb like you're making a soup, and you throw your onions and your tomatoes and tomato paste in there, and you throw in the peanut butter in there too, and you just blend everything else.
Oh, okay.
And you just
what is the flavor? Like sweet?
No, it's not
it's
sweet.
Not sweet. It's salty. It's salty.
It's a bit salty
and flavored.
So.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty delicious.
You tried?
I tried it, and now it's like, dude, we make the same thing in my country, but yours just tastes more like, I think it tastes differently because of the way different spices, a little more different spice. But I can taste the peanut butter.
Different
spices. Yeah. No, I liked it though. That's funny because like I said, like when I moved here, and I was eating meals here, it was like it's the same like concept, but like because the ingredients are grown here, it tasted a little bit different. Yeah, did you ever?
Yeah, I feel like that. So there are some certain spices I would have to go to like an African store to get those spices to be able to get. But still now, the meat and some of the vegetables still doesn't taste like this. The homegrown.
Yeah.
So it still tastes different. So sometimes you have to add a little bit extra spices. Or some of the salt to make it a little bit more tasty.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, even here there's certain products that my mom uses to cook, but it's not really the same.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have to get certain people to send it from Mexico.
Yeah.
That way we can make it and it tastes
like
really
real. Yeah.
And you can even taste the difference in flavor.
Yeah, you can taste. Like right now, the shrimp here compared to the saltwater shrimp back there, the difference is like day and night. So sometimes I would have to send money to my sister-in-law to dry some shrimp up and send it to me all the way from Gambia to here.
Nice.
So that way I'll be able to like mix it up with the shrimp here to get some taste.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And it sucks that we have to do that because most of the food here is processed and it's like overproduced, where it loses the actual natural flavor that it gets. Yeah.
So I tend to stay away from the processed food.
Okay.
And all that, so.
That's good. I mean, a lot of people don't eat mainly at home.
Yeah.
A lot of people sometimes like to eat outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say 99% of the food in the house, in our house, is all cooked at home.
That's really good. What about what was your experience in school? Starting out.
Starting up, it was rough for the start.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It was rough for the start because, I mean, you're going from one education system to another, so that comes with the challenges. And at the beginning, it was difficult to comprehend sometimes what the teachers are saying because you're not using to like. It feels like everyone is just speaking so fast.
Yeah.
So before you get used to that, that was challenging. But the material itself wasn't really hard.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the biggest difference between?
I would say the material I was given over there is much harder than the material I was given in high school here.
Over there in Gambia, right?
Yeah. It's much harder.
I would say so. Maybe that's why I was failing because damn, that shit was hard, man.
Oh, you were failing in Ghana?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like
Yeah.
when I came here, I flipped actually. So I was like failing horribly, and then I came here and I was like, man, this thing is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What was
it
your-
is. I mean, I didn't have the same experience even over there. So even over there, I was for the most part a straight A student. So I just got on that from here.
Yeah. And one more thing, the speaking fast thing, that happened to me. Like we were being like formerly known Mrs. Cox class. That was like the very first class I've ever been when I came to the like American school system. And I'm sitting there and she starts talking. And I swear I thought she was reading a script or something because the way she was talking, I was like, I can't pick up like words. I can just hear phrases like.
You guys were used to how the English was spoken over there.
Yeah. So like I was like, I guess it's gonna take me a second to pick up on these words. But like,
even now, so when he's talking,
yeah,
he's speaking fast to me.
right.
But there's certain words where he has the accent.
Yeah.
So I have to like listen carefully.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
but, I understand it.
Yeah.
But I have to catch up on like how he's saying it.
Yeah.
To understand.
Definitely.
Completely.
It's definitely interesting. And I think it's just, it's unique in a way that like, people speak differently.
Yeah, because you don't have an accent.
Yeah. Sometimes it does.
does.
Because I'm like, because like I don't know. It's something in my mind. Sometimes when I'm speaking, I forget the word. So then I say it in the way I used to say it with the accent.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, okay, well, that's just how I'm going to say it. And then I say it. I do that. Like, I'll think of a word. I'm like, I can't say it like that. They wouldn't understand, like, clearly. So I just need to say it this way.
All right, cool.
I mean, I'm probably the reason why Daniel didn't have an accent because he spent more time in the education system here. So you were here since your freshman year.
Yeah.
So that made a difference. So I was here my junior year. So
the
older you grow, the harder it is to get rid of that accent.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thought you was sophomore maybe.
Yeah, no.
I came in junior year.
He came
Junior
later,
year?
yeah.
15? How old are you right now?
23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. No, wait. Yeah,
That
that's
doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Wait.
I don't think it adds up. Does it?
maybe
Junior year?
maybe
I
he's a little...
graduated at Beechcraft at 17.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
it does.
All right. So school here wasn't really hard. It was just
Yeah, it was
grasping
just
the English.
grasping the
spoken.
English at the beginning. So
Okay.
I mean, Otterbein was also rough a little bit at the beginning, but because if you getting from a how do you call it, public school system and going to Otterbein where you have a lot of these kids who are from private schools,
Yeah.
they have their tutors who teach do
And
a lot of stuff for them.
And it's just predominantly white. So
and
like
it's predominantly,
all this slang is gone.
Yeah. So all that is gone. So you have to learn a new way of doing things there too, which is totally different from the inner city.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which is completely fine, but it just takes a sec because like you don't realize it until like you like I guess you move from a different hub of people and then you like go to a different hub of people and like, oh, these people are like totally different. But then you actually see the real difference, not like something that's like fabricated from like a movie or the media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get to actually experience like a different culture.
Yeah.
Cool.
So like, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So like coming from the inner city and going to the Otterbein, it's like just going from one culture to a totally different culture. And Otterbein and Beechcraft is just a 3-mile radius.
Yeah.
So you can see how much difference that.
Yeah.
So in a short period of time, you had many different shifts.
Yeah.
So you were Gambia?
Yes.
Gambia.
In 2013.
Okay. Yes. There came here. Then Brookhaven.
Then
and from Brookhaven, Beechcraft. And from Beechcraft, Otterbein. Changing different types of environment and cultures. Yeah. So when you went to Brookhaven, did you know that they were going to close that school or?
I don't think, I didn't know anything really about Brookhaven when I come down there. So I didn't know they were going to close the school until like halfway towards the second quarter. We use quarters in high school, right?
Yeah.
Halfway towards the second quarter, and they started talking about that.
Okay.
And when they really passed that bill to close a lot of schools, it wasn't just Brookhaven. Then I knew like, okay, they're for real now.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys were able to choose which school to go to, or was it depending on where you?
For some people, there was a lottery. So with me, I have the option of just coming back to my home school.
Okay.
So it was easy. So everyone got reassigned to their home schools. So you can just go do a lottery to go to a different school. But if you didn't choose a lottery, you just go to your home school.
What was were you in the lottery?
Beechcraft was my home school.
Oh, you didn't go into the lottery?
No, I didn't. I just because I have how to call it Beechcraft home address practically. So
yeah, I thought you chose people chose to go certain places.
Yeah, so some of the people I played with on the football team had to get into a lottery to come down to Beechcraft. But with me,
because you were already there, basically.
I was already there, basically.
Okay.
So I don't know why I went to Brookhaven, but for the first place, I was supposed to go to Beechcraft.
Yeah, they took you to Brookhaven, closed Brookhaven down, and said, "Okay, now go to Beechcraft." But a lot of them went to Northland too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Northland and Mifflin.
Mifflin, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
What they call us, Beach Haven. Beach Haven. Or didn't they unite? Or
they did call us the Beach Haven.
Yeah.
Relax, okay.
So you played soccer in high school, and then you were the kicker in football.
Yep. For high school, yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. And then college too.
Kicker, Hawk.
Yeah, I kicked 1 year at Otterpoint.
Yeah. Was that the first year, or?
Yeah, that was the first year before my knees gave up.
Oh, really?
Knees weak.
The same thing with Daniel.
I know, man.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I told him my story about learning how to actually take care of my body. And if they would have taught us how to take care of our body, and we actually bought into it, I think we'd be really good athletes, because we wanted to do all the things. It's not like getting out of bed and going to the gym was something that was not intentionally, we didn't want to intentionally do that. We would do that, but then we no one was around us was really trying to get us to buy into the fact that this is how the process works. Because part of it is also we were kind of lazy, but also they should have kind of talked about how the importance of these things are. You know what I mean? And then get us into a slow routine, and then slowly build us into becoming athletes that actually work out, stretch. Know how to hydrate right, how to eat correctly, because we got football players eating lunch food and then trying to play a football on food football. They're playing football with the nutrition is so bad.
Sometimes they don't even eat that food.
Yeah. Sometimes they don't eat, and they drink Gatorade all day.
I had some of my teammates who just eat some Cheetos and drink Gatorade and go to practice.
Damn.
Yeah, so then you're we're about to have practice, and how is everybody going to be able to perform at as an actual athlete if they're not even knowing what to feed your body to perform well?
Yeah.
So that's where injuries will be coming in, because kids don't know how to stretch, or they're not teaching them to stretch, or they're not teaching them how to recover. So ice correct. I mean, I saw the icing, but with the ice, there's yes, there's ice you can use, but other things that you can do to be able to make sure your body can recovers a little bit better wasn't really promoted.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, I mean that also comes with just the disadvantages of just going to the inner city. When I was doing my athletic training clinical rotation at Westerville South, Westerville South has they have a full-time strength and conditioning coach who is separate from the athletic staff or the athletic trainer there. They have two athletic trainers on staff, a strength and conditioning coach who basically all he does is just train these athletes how to strengthen their body. Yeah. And the athletic trainers are there when they get injured, they can go down there and do some rehabilitation. So in Beechcraft, you don't really have, we had one athletic trainer who was bouncing between Northland and Beechcraft at the same time.
What was that guy's name?
I can't remember
his name was Steve.
That man taped me so many times. Steve. I would go, I'm like, man, I don't know, this thing hurts. Man, let me slide some tape on there for you. Just tape my ankle, head out.
Yeah, his name was Steve.
Steve?
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
I think he just did what he could, man.
He just did what he could.
There was a lot of athletes.
There was a lot of
bouncing
athletes
between
and
schools.
with very little resources
Yeah.
to go by. So he just did the best.
Like, if you don't have a real issue, he's just gonna throw some ice on it and you're out of here, man.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah. That's actually interesting. Hearing that, because like even though it's a high school, Westerville South, they're having like way more advantages.
Yeah.
Because there's certain athletes at inner cities that are really good. They just need the right like way
Build.
of build, being more athletic.
Yeah.
And not just physically, but
Right.
like in every way.
Yeah.
And they're not getting that.
Right.
They're at a disadvantage.
Right. So they probably have a really strong mindset of like being and performing and being and then actually imagining being really good, but they're limited because they're not going to be able to actually grow their body well, grow their mind well, and stuff like that.
So, your knees. What exactly happened with your knees?
Yeah, I couldn't really tell you what happened to my knees. They just started both of my knees just started hurting really bad.
Yeah.
Like right after my junior year coming to Bishop, they were already hurting. So the only logical explanation I can give is like, how to call it? Before Brookhaven got shut down, the City League plays just way too many games. You're playing like in that short season, minimum you're playing 14 to 15 games. In bodies who are not enough conditioned well enough, who are not bodies that are strong enough. So I would say that's what added to that. And on top of that, I was kicking football too, so I'll go to soccer practice.
Oh, okay.
Soccer practice. From soccer practice, I'll go kick some footballs, and pretty much I was playing 3 games a week.
Oh.
So I played. I got a soccer game on a Monday or Tuesday. I'll play on a Thursday, and I got a football game on Friday. So by the time I was done with college, I was way too beat up.
Yeah.
So even when I went to Otterpine, I wasn't able to do much. I missed the first 3 games of the season, and I was able to play for the remainder of the 7 games that was left.
Oh, okay.
So then after that, I had a knee scope after my freshman year at Otterpine. Even after the knee scope, the knees were still bothering me. And like I just call it quits and focus on my education, and I was able to get something out of that. I got my bachelor's degree in athletic training. Now I really know how to take care of my body, and I can have somebody take care of their body too.
Yeah,
and I'm getting a master's in healthcare administration too. So all those combined, I would that alone, if I had that opportunity back then, it would make a big difference.
Yeah. So were you mentally at that time? Were you like conscious that these things were adding up to, or?
No, I didn't connect those dots until I really get into sport medicines and starting to figure out like the amount of wear and tear I was putting on my body at that age. Was just excessive. And on top of that, with all that, I like to stay in shape. So when I don't have football or soccer practice, I don't mind going for 45 minutes to a 1 hour run.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So
you're mentioning that you got a degree in athletic training?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you do?
I got a question. Just out of curiosity, when you were talking about like games for an athlete, and you said you played about 15 games or something like that, right?
That was just soccer.
That was just soccer, right? And then, so you're saying, like, if you're playing one sport and you're like playing that many games, it's fine. But if you're playing football and soccer and like having that much wear and tear on your body, it's not really good.
I mean, not per se, because what I mean with the soccer is the amount of games they were crunching in the same week.
Okay, yeah.
That was the problem.
Okay.
Because you would play some. There was only 1 or 2 weeks where we didn't play 2 games.
Yeah, every week we play 2 games.
Every week you play 2 games.
Oh, okay.
For that age, that's a lot of beat up for a young body. So we played on a Tuesday
or a Thursday
or Thursday.
Yeah.
So that's 80 minutes. 80 minutes. That's just constant running, and you come on a Friday night. Sometimes you spend maybe 2-3 hours traveling on the road to go play. just that sitting on that bus is just tiring.
I know. I think about it now. I'm just like, dang.
Yeah.
We were really like, cause for like how much we didn't work out or do any like a lot of like fitness stuff. We were really trying to use the body as much as we could.
Yeah.
Sincerely, like we were really trying, and I think that's why our bodies got beat up, is because we kind of like our mindset was like really strong enough to get past like feeling all the pain, and then like just keep playing and then trying to enjoy playing. So then after, it's just like, dang, my body is like,
so the body never
so
recovered.
it just went up to a point where the body said, I can't take it no more.
Yeah. Really?
I'm just gonna take you out.
Yeah. Yeah, let me roll this ankle.
If you're not coming out, I'll take you out.
Yeah.
So what do you do currently right now?
So right now I live right behind Easton. My brother bought a house over there, so but
Easton Mall.
It's in Mall, so but I am about to move out sometime next week. I got a job to be an athletics right now at Marietta.
Yeah.
Where?
Marietta is in Southeast Ohio.
Yeah, it's Marietta. Right. It's I've been there to play tennis once.
So it's about 2 hours from here, 2 hours drive from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Marietta is like one of the oldest settlements in Ohio.
Oh, okay. So what were you doing before you got that job?
So I was just basically focusing on getting my master's done 3/4 way or halfway before I started for a full-time job. Oh, so right now, all I have left with my master's is to do practicum. Practicum is basically more internship.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's pretty much what I have left in one class for my master's. So I will be able to swing that with a full-time job now.
Okay, cool. So right after you got your bachelor's, you went right into it?
I just gave it, I think like, we graduated April 28th. I started my master's May 6th.
A week later.
A week later. I didn't give it a break.
Yeah.
That's good, because sometimes if someone gives it a break, maybe they're not interested no more.
Yeah, because I felt like if I give it a break, I would just go get a job and just started working and never look back.
Yeah.
So I was like,
what was the main reason for going for your master's instead of not?
I mean, I just wanted to have something more than a bachelor's degree. So that was my aspiration all along. So initially, I was gonna go to occupational therapy school right after I graduate. Mm-hmm. So I had some back issues towards the end of my senior year. So I wanted to take care of that. So to take care of that, I have to stay in Columbus and take care of that.
Okay.
So I was like, so I'm just gonna stick around and while I was taking care of my back, I would just get a master's degree on the process. What
was your issue with your back?
It was the back. It has to do with some congenital issues I was born with, so that was bothering me. So
was it bothering you throughout your life before then, or was it more?
It was my. It started bothering my junior year, but the problem itself in there has been there for the entirety of my life, but it never gave me a problem until that time.
Yeah.
Junior in college?
Yeah. Or it started my junior year of college to bother me.
So that was the reason you had to stay here?
And then,
you were staying here, might as well do the master's.
Do something and get a master's in the process.
And then you got your surgery, and my man was in pain. I went to go see him at the hospital a couple of times. Yeah.
It was rough. But
how long were you there?
I was in this hospital I had 2 surgeries actually.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
The first one was in October of 2019, and the other one was... Sorry, the first one was in June of 2019, and the other one was in October.
Yeah.
Of 2019?
Yeah.
Wow. So you were there from June? You were in there the whole time?
No, I only spent a week in the hospital.
And then
after that, I just did most of the recoveries, but...
What was the reason for doing 2 surgeries?
It has to be separate.
It has to be? Okay.
It has to be separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling now, currently?
Getting there, so I would say getting to that 100%.
Well, it's only been like...
It's been a year now, so...
Yeah.
It's getting there, so... I wouldn't say it's 100%, but I would say I am in a much better place than I was last year this time.
Yeah.
And having the knowledge of having be physically fit in a good way
Yeah.
Did that help you, or did you use certain that?
I mean, yeah, I use that to help me out during my, because the most difficult part wasn't the surgery itself. It's the recovery was the biggest part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Going to physical therapy 2 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
That was rough.
How'd you balance that with the school? Or
I mean,
did it not affect any?
It didn't affect much school. I just limited the amount of classes I took. So.
Oh, okay. So you already knew you were gonna get surgery.
Yeah.
So you limited. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. What is the new job you're working at?
I was working as a high school athletic trainer, so I got a job offer from Marietta Memorial Hospital. So it's a hospital over there. So.
Oh, okay.
But they outsource their services. They have a contract with the school, one of the school districts over there.
Oh, okay.
So they would hire athletic trainers and send them over there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
and now you're going to be involved in athletes that are wanting to be like really good, like performing athletes. And then you can actually tell them, well, if you don't do all these things, your body is not going to be able to handle the fact that you're going to put all this wear and tear. And I know you want to play longer than you, like you're mad as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the way to go through that.
Yeah,
And you're gonna
I like that a lot.
yeah.
It's very poetic.
Yeah.
Because I mean, athlete in high school having not the right experience with athletic like trainers and having someone teach you.
Yeah.
And now you're gonna be the one that's gonna be teaching these young kids that they need to take care of their body and not really force it too much when their bodies are not really ready for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, is if you take care of your body will take care of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are big things that you have learned with that? What changes did you make in your everyday life to better
I
yourself?
have to make a lot of modifications. I can't do how to call it,
Heavy lifting.
weightlifting anymore.
You can't do it?
Nah. So, but I have an alternative. So right now, I still lift, but I use bands. I mean, they're as effective as using dumbbells
Oh, okay.
or using pull-up bars. So I find another way to stay fit. So
What other things are not?
I do some cardio, some long distance walking. So like during the summer, I'll take the trail the Allen Creek Trail over here by Ennis. I'll use the Allen Creek Trail to walk about 4 to 8 miles all the way down to Westerville and turn around.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I used to go on long walks.
Yeah.
I'll text him like, "What you doing? Walking."
Yeah, so
Any physical activity that you do is really helpful. Because a lot of people now, they just sit.
Yeah. I don't like that. I can go 2 days without doing some physical activity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much sit all the time.
Yeah.
Except for work. I work at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm standing there for like 7-8 hours.
Yeah, so I can go two days.
How your
without
knees
physical-
feeling?
I pretty much have my own home gym.
How
at
your
home.
knees feeling?
My knees,
Yeah.
they haven't hurt.
Okay.
What have hurt are like the Achilles sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's only this one. But I think it was the shoe I was wearing.
Hmm.
So, because I would step and it would like start hurting there.
Mhm.
And it hadn't happened to me before.
Mhm.
I was gonna go check it out, but then it just like went away.
It's like a car, you know, when you hear something from your car and you're like, man, I don't know what this sound is. And then a week later you don't hear it again and you're like, okay, well, I guess it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, there's like I have family members that have been working in the restaurant for many years, maybe like 20 plus,
Oh, nice.
and they're like standing constantly for many hours.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes they're like heel hurts because they're like standing for a long period, and you really don't get much of a break to sit or anything. So I guess they get used to that.
I mean, you can remedy that with having the proper footwear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proper
Yeah,
footwear,
that's-
because with being an athletic trainer too, it's a lot of standing. There's not much sitting down. If you're sitting down, then you don't have anyone around you, and when you're doing that, you're just doing documentation.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, it's just a lot of standing and walking around and moving around, and occasionally running into the field. So
Okay.
you gotta have proper footwear that's comfortable to stand
Yeah.
on for a couple of hours.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, when I teach, I wear like tennis performance shoes. So Like if I have to like actually rally with somebody, I don't have to like take off my shoes and switch them. I just keep that on.
When you run, or you don't run anymore, right?
Nah, not so much. I do a lot of walking. If I want to run, I'll probably just jog on a treadmill.
Oh, treadmill.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that? Because
I mean, I just want to make sure my body is like 100%, totally 100% before I started doing every physical activity again.
Okay.
Because I just don't want to take that chance anymore.
Yeah, with being like 100%, does that include knowledge about eating? Or
you say knowledge of what?
Eating certain things? Or are you mainly focused on like
the
way
eating,
you do certain activities?
Doing certain activities.
Oh,
okay. The eating, I've been eating the same way for probably the longest time. But
yeah.
It's mostly I would say I eat relatively healthy. I would say that.
Okay.
So I cook what I eat. I don't eat anything that's processed. Either meat.
You don't like Taco Bell? Saying that.
You said what?
I say you don't like Taco Bell? Nah. Me either.
Yeah, anything that's processed, fast food. I'll go get some tacos every once in a while, but I wouldn't consider that
from Taco Bell.
Nah.
No.
There's a Mexican food joint over there on Moss Road.
We go to Los Guachos.
So I'll go get some.
You like
some
that
tacos.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
You don't like it?
Like them. Nah, they're pretty dry. The salsa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is the most important thing that you need to have in a taco.
Mm.
If it doesn't good flavor,
mm-hmm.
if it's not too spicy, if it's too spicy, it's bad.
Mm.
It can be too spicy, but if it doesn't have flavor, it's not good.
Okay.
If it has flavor, then it's worth eating the salsa.
Okay.
So me, even with a taco, I like my food spicy.
Is that the only place you go? Wachos?
No, there was another food truck by my old neighborhood, but I don't know where he at right now. He's not there no more.
He did.
He's
so like he is like usually that's the most authentic taco I've ever ate. So it's like there are couples that on their own food truck. So basically like that's like the most authentic Mexican food I ever ate. It's from that place.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I have certain places too that I have to go there all the time. There's one by the airport. You know, by
the first time you told me, I was like, dude, you drove all the way to next to the airport to get some tacos. That is so
It's by the airport by, what is it? Broad Street in James. Somewhere around there.
I think I might know the place you're talking about.
Yeah. Ever since we tried it, I mean, we go there. Every time we go around that area, we have to go there.
Yeah.
If someone like, let's say I'm here, my mom goes there, drives by, passes by, lets me know that she's going there, and we get something.
Nice.
Every time. That's like a tradition now that we drive by, we have to get it.
We gotta go there, man.
Yeah. I haven't gone there yet because during the pandemic, they raised the prices up. I think originally it was $175 for a taco, one single.
No, it's $250.
But no, it was like almost $4.
Whoa, for one time, relax.
Yeah, the reason is because the meat. So the meat industry, a lot of those guys got sick. They never had any symptoms, but they got sick.
So they didn't have enough workers.
No, they weren't. Like even in stores, you would go and buy meat products. All the shelves were pretty much empty.
Wow.
You couldn't get certain types. There was like Walmart or like other places. I would go there and it was limited. A lot of empty shelves.
Yeah, that's the nature of the pandemic. So it's nothing we've ever seen.
What was your experience during the pandemic?
During the quarantine.
Man, the quarantine was
it
was just depressing.
We're still in the pandemic, man.
Yeah.
It was just depressing.
What was the reason? Because you were just staying inside?
I was already stuck in the house for like 2 months, about 4 months recovering.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So right when I was about to get started and start finding a job for athletic training job, and everything got shut down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like I started looking for jobs in the beginning of March, and the pandemic started in March.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you're saying that you like to do activities, so
Yes.
you're not a guy that likes to just stay in.
No.
one
I just
spot.
don't like
Yeah.
being stuck in one place.
Nope.
And it's mentioned to him in the last episode. A lot of people aren't talking about like doing more exercise or eating better.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are just saying just to stay inside, and that's gonna help you. But I think the opposite,
Yeah.
because there's other stuff that like you're saying, you don't like to be stuck indoors. You want to go outside, do certain activities, even if it's just walking.
Right.
It's something to get you physically active.
Right.
So did you go outside at all, or?
I did. So I just have to grab a mask and go on the trail. I mean, usually there are certain times during the day when you don't have a lot of people on the trail. So like around like 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon
Mm-hmm.
to right around 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of people on the trail. So I'll just go for a walk during that time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you see a lot of people there?
I mean, there's few, but not a lot of people walking during that hot summer hours. So if you go to the trail around 5 p.m., you just bumping into people every other second. But around 1 p.m., probably you will have maybe a couple of bikers just pass you.
Mm. So you always took the Alum Creek Trail, or is there certain trails that you take?
That's either trail or there's a park on Shrike Road by Mount Carmel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Sharon Woods.
Yeah, Sharon Woods Park. So
Yeah.
I'll take that trail if I want to just walk for a short distance. But if I want to walk for a long distance, I'll take the Alum Creek Trail, because with that trail I can put 8 miles in.
Nice. Damn, my man's taking.
Just walking.
Just walking. I can just go walk all the way down 4 miles, all the way to by Westerville on Route 3, and I'll turn around.
That's a long walk, man.
Yeah, I used to do like those long walks with my mom. Our apartment we lived in, it's by 161 Westerville Road, and there's the trail right behind, really, by the Iron Pony. You know where
I used to come all the way down to that, right next to the Iron Pony.
Yeah, we would walk.
I walk from
Beach Grove.
Polaris here
Yeah.
all the way to that Iron Pony.
Oh wow. Yeah, we would walk from there to Sharon Woods, and then we would come back,
Mm-hmm.
and that was pretty much what we did.
Wow.
Because my mom was almost like you. She likes being outside, doing certain things. So we would go and walk, and that would be like the sort of like daily activity that we do. And ever since we stopped, I don't know why. I actually don't know why. But maybe we could go back into like
it's a lot. Do you guys were you going in the morning or what, afternoon?
It would just be whenever, really.
Oh.
There wasn't certain like schedules.
I mean, you did start working a lot more too, so.
I mean, traditionally, when you're from Africa, you don't spend a lot of time indoors.
Yeah.
Like the other time you go indoors once you
you
get
go
off your
to-
bed,
Yeah.
most of your
That
activities
is
are
true.
outdoors.
Yeah.
So being indoors just like makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah. Over there too in Mexico, the time I lived there a little bit. Go ahead if you want the water. Everyone's outside really.
Oh, yeah.
When you don't see really inside it.
Yeah, when you were
houses.
inside watching TV, they'll tell you to get out and go play.
Yeah.
My parents.
That's what they used to tell us.
Yeah,
here.
my mom used to just be like, "Get off the TV and go play."
Yeah, and a lot of kids, like when I was here,
Yeah.
I would go out and play with my cousins, friends.
Right.
There were certain occasions we would go and play video games, but then we would go out.
Yeah.
But I used to watch wrestling, WWE, and we would wrestle outside.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they'll
we
be
had-
like at the end of the thing, they're like, "Don't practice this at home." We will
Yeah.
be practicing at home. Like,
Yeah, we had like the belts, and we did like a tournament thing.
That's
And,
So
funny.
yeah, nowadays you can keep these kids outdoors.
no.
yeah, you can't get them outside, man.
Like literally,
That's so strange, though.
my nephew just went to Africa like on Sunday.
Mhm.
This kid literally can sit on the TV from 7 a.m. in the morning until he goes to bed at 8 p.m. at night. So literally, I had to restrict
How old
him.
is he?
He's 8 now.
8.
So if you don't tell him to shut that TV off, he's on the TV 24/7. He would even mind talking to anybody else.
Does he eat?
Hardly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hardly. So I end up taking away all those projects. I just gave him 3 hours a day of TV time.
Mm-hmm.
One of that, that's it. Once that is done, that's done.
Yeah.
There's no more TV for the rest of the day.
So what does he do after?
Well, he has to get creative and do something.
Yeah,
that's what you got.
A lot of people lost their creativity.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like the babies now, they cry because they want to get the phone.
Yeah.
Once you give them the phone, they stop.
I know.
And they know how to use it too. Like
I know.
there's like old people, they don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
But the babies know how to use it.
It's their world now, man. It's their world. But it's that's interesting. That kind of brings up the social dilemma documentary that I mentioned to you, Mario, about how all these social media networks are all designed to captivate your attention, and slowly you build an addiction towards them, and then it ties into suicide rate and body image issues with girls. It's really interesting because I kind of had that kind of sense that was happening, but because you're in the middle of it, you don't really, like, sometimes you just lose sight of it. You know, when during Instagram in high school, people are making posts like this for to be honest, or like this for honest, or they were rating people, like they were literally rating, people were rating each other on images on Instagram in high school, and people were just like liking it, but like, yeah, you didn't get enough likes, so you're ugly. Like literally, that was literally happening. But we're all in the middle of it, and we think it's like funny, but like there are people who are internalizing that. But part of it is also, like, as I found out from a documentary, is that the people that design the apps know that there is a part of you that unconsciously keeps coming back to it, and they use their knowledge from the fact that they know how the mind works to be able to design
it's
these
dopamine.
things. Yeah, it's insane. Like, I watched it, and like all they do is just like come up with ways to get you back on the screen, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is your opinion with certain things? Are you pretty much stuck to your phone a lot, or?
No, I limit. I have like a set time on my phone that.
Are you use the screen time?
Yeah, I use the screen time that tells me like the amount of hours I use myself. So I limit the amount of time I spend in there. So for the most part, during the day, I'm mostly writing papers or doing some research for my graduate school class. So that doesn't give me enough time to be on my phone anyway. So
yeah.
Were you ever into your phone a lot? Not really.
I'm not big on just being stuck with technology. I will use technology, but for the purpose of education, for the most part, that's what I will use it for. But other than that, I'm not one that's just clinging on it 24/7. No.
Yeah,
that's
I would
good.
agree. Like, even for me, I have the screen time, and every week I try and pay attention to whether my average has gone up or gone down, and then always try to make sure it keeps going down every week. Sometimes I fail to do it because I'm like unconsciously doing other things, and I'm really wanting to make sure I do certain things past the like limit I set. So it's really interesting because I like that I'm getting into a better habit of like limiting how many hours like I'm on the phone, because I know how much it can like physically or like mentally affect me. Yeah,
that's good. I'm on my phone really a lot. It's mainly like.
But I would say that like you have like the discipline because you went through that.
Yeah. I try to test my ability of doing certain things or not doing certain things. So I went without like social media for a year, try and see if I could do it, and it wasn't really hard.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard.
I mean, I would say it's just a mindset.
Yeah, it's a mindset.
So if you put yourself through the task, you should be able to do it. Like, at some point around my sophomore year in college, I deleted like all my social media apps.
Yeah.
I just went completely out of regret. For a while, there's no social media. You want to talk to me? Just text me.
Yeah.
So do you use your social media now for your work?
I mean, I use my Instagram now for the most part, and the most things I use that on, I follow these, how to call it, some of these physical therapists or some of these things who would post like resources you can use for physical rehabilitation. So sometimes I'll go in there and look for some things I can use.
Oh, okay.
So, but other than that, I can go. I'll probably have maybe 1 or 2 Instagram posts for a whole calendar year.
Yeah, I don't post at all. I honestly, the amount of like, if we didn't start this podcast, I probably would have deleted my Instagram because I'm like, I don't use it, and I don't want to be spending time on it. Honestly speaking.
Mm-hmm. So now that you're going to be working over there, is that what is like your long-term goals? Is it to get another position at somewhere that's like a bigger known areas, or moving to certain states, or just staying here?
I want to move into administration.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go there, get probably maybe 1.5 to 2 years experience, then just try to move up in the hospital system over there.
Oh, okay. So you want to just move up your way through the hospital? Okay, that's cool. And is that just your long-term goal that you want to do, or
yeah,
do you just work it like?
No, that's my long-term goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because with being an athletic trainer, once you start a family, I mean, you want to give that time. You want to give a quality time to your family too. But being an athletic trainer, you don't really own your time.
Mm-hmm.
Once you're out there, you're out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're out there for as long as your athletes are there, your teams are there, you're there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't get to leave. You don't get to leave unless they leave.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So pretty much that's basically it. So if you go in maybe around 2 o'clock when they get out, so you're there till around 9 o'clock.
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment. So if you travel with the teams, sometimes you don't get to your house or apartment till around midnight.
Wow. So you like that aspect?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that. But once I start a family, I want a regular 9 to 5 job where I can go to work, come back, go if I have kids.
Mm-hmm.
That way, with being an administrator, I'll just work 8 to 5 or maybe 9 to 5, and go spend time with my kids and family.
Okay, that's why you want to work your way up.
Work my way up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, at what age do you plan on having like a family? Is it just as soon as you get administration, you're gonna start working on it?
Nah. I mean, I will probably even start a family while I'm still an athletic trainer. But I mean, once those kids try to grow up, I would like to be able to teach those kids how to play soccer. I would like to teach them how to kick a football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or something right around those hands. So I mean, basically, when they're 1 or 2, they really can't play soccer.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna keep working. He's like,
I'm just gonna keep working until they get to that age where you can teach them how to do that. Then you get to spend quality father, son or daughter time doing those things.
Okay, that's cool.
That's great. I don't think about that because I'm just like working. Just keep working.
So you pretty much have everything sort of in mind, set certain like goals that you want to reach, and then you sort of already made your path that you want to live through your life. Okay.
Could you see yourself doing anything else apart from athletic training, or after that being in healthcare administration? Excuse me.
I wouldn't say no, cause you never say no, cause sometimes you don't. I mean, if I'm not a healthcare administrator or athletic trainer, so right now, even with this masters I'm doing right now, I can be a healthcare advocate, or some working on maybe doing something that around healthcare policy.
Okay.
So my practicum is going to be around that end. Right. So I can either be a healthcare administrator or be a practice manager if I have that opportunity, or I can work somewhere around advocacy. But if I'm not doing athletic training or being a healthcare administrator, then the other one has to be healthcare advocacy.
Nice. So I would say, like, as all people like work and go into different lines of work, they're all trying to. Certain people want to develop certain type of services to humans. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you work in the food industry. I work in the sports industry. Now you're working in the health industry. Did you always like think you were going to be like in the health industry, or was there another way that you felt like you could contribute to the community through some like any type of services?
I mean, I always had my mindset on being on the healthcare industry. So I just happened to land on the sport medicine side, but I always had something in mind that has to do in healthcare.
Nice.
You never went into professional sport?
No.
No? It wasn't something... You just liked enjoying playing, but never wanted to aspire to...
I with soccer, I was good enough if I have the help, but we'll never know. We will never know.
Knees gave out.
So soccer, yes. My junior year, coming to senior year, I would say, I was good enough to go places, but that's something we're never gonna know.
Yeah. See, I would say when I first began, as far as like deciding which kind of field or stuff I wanted to go into, the healthcare, I guess the health administration services, but being like a clinical psychologist, and now I teach tennis, so it's like completely different. But I think it's just like interesting how certain people want to be contributing to the community through different ways, and I like how like everybody's different in that way. Because it's really good to like have people that want to do what they want to do versus people pushing what they should try and do. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
So that's something unique about my family. Like pretty much everyone who has the degree in there, no one really nudged them to go do this or force them to go. Everyone just kind of chose their path.
Nice.
So the people who wanted to get into business got into business. The people who wanted to open their private small businesses, that's what they did.
So basically, your dad isn't like, Abass, you got to be a doctor.
Nah.
Nice.
Nah,
That's good.
My family ain't like that. So
Yeah.
That's
everyone just followed their passion.
That's good. That's really good. How it should be. I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, it should be like that. No, you shouldn't force certain things.
Because that just, how to call it, my family, there's just that variety in there. So like, I have one of my sisters live in North Carolina. She has a nursing degree, but she didn't really use it. She just opened up her own business. So she sells African groceries and jewelries and how to call it, and he sells some Muslim clothing too. She imports some of those stuff from Dubai or China. So basically that's what she does.
That's cool.
Yeah.
North Carolina?
Yeah. My other sister works for Amazon. My other siblings work for Kroger. And some of my other siblings, I have two other sisters who do the same thing like the one, in North Carolina does. The two of them, their business are in Gambia. So basically they have some people working for them. So they will just import the goods and put it in a container and just ship it to Gambia.
Nice.
Okay.
So that's basically, they just go ahead and buy in bulk and distribute to the retailers over there.
Okay. What is the name for the North Carolina?
Huh?
The name of the business?
The one in North Carolina is, NC International.
Shout out to NC International.
Yeah, there's people that listen, throughout the U.S.
Yeah.
Even no one in Africa yet. Maybe this is the first episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna get African listeners.
Yeah.
But
I have so.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's NC International Grocery Store.
Nice.
So it's in Raleigh, North Carolina.
So before we had this podcast earlier today, I was thinking about a really good question. So it kind of ties into how you talked about when you first got here, and you're like, is this really America or am I somewhere else? So in a sense, as we've been all living here, we've learned about the history of this place. And I was thinking, I think that everybody, or at some point somebody in America has probably said, I wish, or I would like to picture America to be a certain way, or the community to be a certain way, in a better way than it is now. Like when you were coming here without knowing what like America is, and now that you've lived here, like what do you, if you had to like paint a picture of how you think America would be in a peaceful way, how do you think you would imagine that?
Before I came down here, when people talk about America, I just see like this heaven where you go in. It's practically everything is attainable.
Yeah.
You have everything you can possibly imagine.
Yeah.
You can get. But once you get here, you realize that that's not the reality.
Yeah.
The first time I saw a homeless guy,
That's the
I was
first story.
Huh?
the first time I saw a homeless guy,
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
People are homeless in this place?
Yeah.
That just threw me off.
Yeah.
It was basically like a culture shock.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
I had the same experience. I was like, there's no way this man is homeless. Like this is an act.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is man is homeless.
Where the cameras at?
Yeah, like where the
It's
cameras
like-
at?
Back home, like there's real poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the very least, you would have some place to call home and some place
Yeah.
to lay your head down at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now you coming down here, probably let's say one of the wealthiest countries in the world. You seen people homeless, people sleeping on the streets,
Yeah.
people begging for pennies and dimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just threw me off.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's not what I expected.
there are a lot of things that threw me off, and then like I think somebody had made that statement that said that like there are people in America who die from overeating, and there are people in other countries that die from not eating enough food, and that's just like that statement just shows you the fact that whatever like people think or paint about America, if you don't actually live here, then you don't really know what it actually is.
Yeah.
Because there are people like wherever people will say it like, oh, there's like crime and bad things happening in other parts of the world. There's crime, literally. That is a true statement. Like everywhere you go, there are bad people there.
Mm.
And so, with that being said, I think that question was really good because I also thought that like America was a certain way before I came here, and then I saw the homeless guy. I'm like, dude, how are you homeless? Like, it doesn't make sense.
When he mentioned that before, like having cultural shocks that in certain things he was expecting, I related to like the age that you guys came here. You came at an older age, so you were like had a perception of it. I was living in a village. I mean, we had a TV, but I mean, I would watch certain cartoons, but most of the time I would be like doing other stuff. And when I came here, I had no like expectations really. So my experience was very different from you guys.
So, because over there, I mean, you have the opportunity to see these music videos.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will see people who are residents here, and they'll go over there for a holiday, either citizens or non-citizens.
Yeah.
Now you see the perception when you see somebody come in dressed in nice,
Yeah.
driving a fancy car,
Yeah.
and you imagine what kind of paradise is this guy's from? But when you really come down here and see the person the way they live, sometimes the people going down there they don't help. Because if you see the life they live here
Yeah.
and the odd jobs they do, and when they go down there, the way they act and what they show off, that it's just something. It's totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you basically like in a sense like, and part of it's also because of the difference in the value of the currency. Because if the amount of money you have here, if you go like back in Ghana, if you had like $100 bill and you go back in Ghana, you get more value for the dollar.
Yeah.
So you have more cash. So then you can spend more. So it pretty much looks like you have more money, which you do. But then like it also creates an opportunity for you to just buy certain things that you usually don't buy or don't need because it looks flashy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, like people who are not boogie here will go down there and act that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not bougie here, but they go there and they have a little more cash.
They
And
live
like,
on cash, so they're trying to be boogie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing over there. A lot of people that don't know much about here, they think it's mostly like the older people. They think that everyone's rich over here.
yeah, like
Because I mean, my mom has sent money to her family, and then there's other not family members, but other people we know from the same place. They send money, and then there are certain people over there that once they receive the money, they act like they have everything,
yeah,
and they don't even like share with certain people or like brag they have this amount.
Yeah, or they have family.
Even though like it's a little village.
I know.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah. It's that like that perception and imagery and that attitude, it trickles down, and then you have people that are living in other countries that feel like what they have isn't enough. You know what I mean? So then they think that they need to leave where they are, even maybe their situation is fine. They feel like they need to leave and come here to experience what this is. You know what I mean? And then I'm not saying there's something wrong with that, like entirely. But what I see is a little bit wrong is that people, like, there are people who are living a much enjoyable life that don't need any technology, but we have all the technology, and there some of us are like miserable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
I understand all of that, and I mean it's a cultural thing that needs to probably change later on, if it's even possible to go back and change certain things. But I think it's just gonna keep getting worse. Really.
Yeah, with the technology, it's just gonna keep getting worse.
Well, technology-wise, it's always gonna advance.
Yeah. So, and people getting attached to it too. It's just gonna get worse from now on. Now.
We'll probably have implants. What do you think about that?
I mean, they're gonna.
Well, what if they were able to, I don't know, make a new like knee, but that would work so good?
I mean, they already started working on cutting edge materials close to that right now. So like right now, they can do some kind of microchip. Instead of having a total knee replacement, they can do some kind of microsurgeries where they can regenerate the cartilages in your knee.
Oh yeah.
So they already started those kind of cutting edge technologies.
Is that how the NBA players that snap their ankles in half do it?
Not exactly, because like for instance, when you see some of these older people who kind of worn out every part of their cartilage in their knees, they will get a knee replacement. So right now they're starting to do some stuff that kind of like that should be able to regenerate that.
Oh, okay.
Rather than just having a total knee replacement.
What other stuff like that have they done with the body?
Oh, let's see. On top of my mind, do you have anything specific in mind right now?
Not really. I mean, I'm just thinking about like the injuries that you have, like the knee, the back.
Yeah. So with the back too, like how to like right now too. Let's say some of these spinal fusions, like before they can just put in these metals. Right now they can kind of like make an artificial kind of spine that's not metal. They can just fuse that on your back.
So like the difference with that is that would probably have more versatility.
Yeah, that's gonna have more mobility in there than having just some metals in that.
Yeah,
I mean,
because the metal.
Obviously, you're still gonna have some metals because you're gonna put some screws in there to hold that in place. But it's a little.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to that type of technology, or is it not really?
I'm not looking not so much looking forward to that technology, but I'm more like working on that preventative measures, like before
to reach that. Okay. Yeah.
Trying to prevent those kind of things as much possible as.
Yeah.
Right. So you'd rather those options be the worst case
scenarios than something that's on the table.
Yeah. You want to avoid having to do that.
Yeah.
That's really good. Is there certain hobbies that you do besides that, or is that just all you do, really?
Soccer. I watch a lot of soccer.
You watch a lot of
English
Premier League.
A lot of football, a lot of NBA.
You like the NBA?
Yeah, I'm watching the NBA a little bit, but not as much as soccer and football.
Yeah. What is your favorite team?
For soccer, it's Arsenal.
Arsenal?
Yeah.
Is there a specific reason?
The Gunners.
Shit, I can't really tell. I've been supporting Arsenal since I was back home a little.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I just kind of fell in love with it. I mean, there were certain players in the old days. I just fell in love with players like Thierry Henry.
Yeah, that's when the Arsenal was like a real team.
So
they still win trophies, though. They will still win trophies.
I mean, they're still winning trophies now and then, but not the big trophies anymore.
Oh, okay.
But back then, they have those big players. You have the Henrys, the Patrick Vieira's.
When I think of when I first developed interest in like even supporting teams, I think part of it is because I was around people who were like arguing back and forth between whose team is like better. And then they start mentioning like certain soccer players from their team that are saying it's like a lot better than the other. So then when I started paying attention to the names and I go look up their videos, I'm like, oh, this player plays at this professional of soccer club. And I'm like, oh, like, and they show like their highlight reel and I'm like, oh, looks so cool. And I think that's where I started tiring into like understanding, actually getting a grasp of what good soccer players look like and the kind of things they do to show that they're like really good, and what teams they play on, and on their teams that they play on, what other players kind of like fit into their style of like how they play. And I think a lot of people develop interest of sports through that, either that or you just turn on the TV one day and you just enjoy a really good competitive team going back and forth, and you're like, wow, this team did so much better.
Yeah, I mean, with me, it's family members. Certain family members like certain teams.
Right.
That's how I chose my favorite team.
Right.
Family members.
So my experience is different. I don't have a lot of athletes in my family.
No.
Nah. It's me, one of my older brothers, and nowadays it's my nephew, so they started playing more. But my family, two things: cars, business.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
So
interesting. Yeah.
usually back home we have a transportation business, and we also have how to call it, more like a family business, and we have a family farm too. So we have some cattle and all that.
Oh, okay.
So
That's pretty
it
good.
was more like that. So but me, the reason why I fell in love in soccer, because like our hometown is a soccer town. Practically, like in that whole region, I mean, some even made it all the way to be a professional soccer players. Two of them played.
Yeah.
Two of them even play professional soccer in MLS here.
Oh, okay.
So we were from the same hometown. So we live like half a mile to 3/4 of a mile.
For the crew?
Yeah, no, not crew.
Oh, the crew.
They
What
played.
team?
One of them played for the how to call it.
What city?
Orlando. What's the name of the team for how to call it? Toronto, Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
One of them played for the Rapids.
Colorado Rapids.
Yeah,
Toronto Rapids.
No, Colorado Rapids.
Rapids.
Is what they call it.
Colorado
Oh,
But
Rapids.
the Toronto Raptors are the NBA. Dude.
No, I had Rapids.
Oh, the Rapids?
I thought it was Toronto Rapids. What is Toronto?
Toronto Raptors is the NBA.
Toronto Raptors.
No, not Raptors.
And Colorado
Colorado
Rapids.
Rapids is the MLS.
Colorado Rapids, yeah.
It's the MLS.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is no Toronto Rapids.
No.
Now,
no.
it's the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, you just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, I used to watch soccer a lot. I used to like Manchester United.
They suck now.
I haven't watched any. I know the last. What was the last? I think like when Pogba he went there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last time I've known like what players they have.
I
Okay.
mean, Pogba was recently. So the time Pogba went there, they were starting to suck really bad.
Yeah. They thought, I think they bought Pogba.
They brought Pogba to
revive
revive
the-
things, but
No, he didn't.
things hasn't been
Yeah.
that way still.
Yeah. And I think part of it is because, they brought a player in, and it's all like somebody's visionary. They're envisioning that like this player can come in and will be that middle piece to be able to put everybody together.
Mm-hmm.
And they go for that idea because, they're doing so well on some other team. So why not get here?
I mean, part of that, so he was part of the youth system, and they let him go to Juventus, and they brought him back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he was part of the.
He was part of the youth system before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought they just bought him.
No.
He was in the youth system. They let him go, so Juventus kind of developed him for like 2
He
3
played.
years.
He played some senior games.
Senior games on the Silex.
on for Manu before he went to Juventus. Yeah, I mean, I think he had the greatest time in Juventus. Like it was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude can hit the ball from anywhere in the field and just ping it in the back of the net.
I mean, the Juventus team he played in was a very talented team.
Yeah, their
Because
defense.
they have veteran defenders. Yeah, they have a veteran goalkeeper like Gigi Buffon.
Yeah.
On the back line, you have Cellini.
Yeah,
You have what's his name again?
Marquisio.
Marquisio
Who
was
played
a midfielder.
midfield.
Marquisio was a midfielder. You have this other veteran midfielder. He's the manager now, Andre Pirlo.
Yeah.
So you talking one of the greatest ever to play that role.
Yeah.
In his role. So
Yeah.
he played around a real talent.
Yeah. He learned a lot. So like he was around a lot of players that like really could play the game well. So I think like I guess Manu's probably idea is like, okay, we're gonna buy him back, but also he's probably learned a lot from all these really talented players that he can kind of instill in the players here, and yeah, I guess it didn't really work. Yeah. But things are meant to be tried out. So I guess it could be a different story that he went there and then completely blew up and played even way better than he played at Juventus, but he didn't. So
too bad.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, he's still young, so I think
he's not getting any younger.
He has. I mean, he if he can fit into another team as talented as he did at Juventus, I think he'll be able to. It'll be fun to see the way he just kind of distributes the ball and passes, because like that's what I really enjoyed watching him when he played at Juventus. Like he can pass the ball and put the ball in places that you're not, and that's what I enjoy about the game, is because when you're watching the game, sometimes you don't see a play happen, and then it happens, and then you just see a pass, and a goal, and it's just like so beautiful. Yeah.
Do you have an opinion on the Messi versus Ronaldo?
Actually, I'm not a big fan of either. So.
Really?
But no, why is that?
I don't know. For some reason, I call it soccer as I used to know it used to be more like, more generalized. You have every year, you have this player wins the Ballon d'Or.
Okay.
The other year it was, and it all became just two people. And it is more than that, just two people. And I feel like there were years like when in 2010 when they gave the Ballon d'Or to Messi, you have, what was his name again? Wesley Sneijder played absolutely exceptionally well in that South Africa World Cup.
Yeah.
And I feel like that year he should have won it. But with this competition, everyone focusing on Messi, Ronaldo, overshadowed everything that he did in that competition.
Yeah.
2 years ago too, 3 years ago when Real Madrid won the Champions League, the second time on the Zidane that year, when Luka Modric should have won it.
Right.
That year too. It didn't happen that year either. If you watch Luka Modric that year, it felt like the real old Luka Modric back in his Tottenham days, where you looking at you can see an image of Xavi. You know Xavi. Xavi.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
You can look at. He's more like an old image, a younger Xavi during those days.
Nice.
Wow. So, I haven't kept up with like the Ballon d'Or. Every single year it's been either them two.
It's just between
hasn't
Ronaldo,
Messi has like 5.
Hasn't
Ronaldo
been
has
any-
like 5 too, I think.
So every single year has
every
been.
single year except 1 year. This past couple of years, it's all been Ronaldo and Messi. Ronaldo.
Who was with?
I can't remember.
I think it was Luka Modric won it one this past couple of years, I think. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's just this.
It's just been Messi and Ronaldo.
Oh, okay, yeah. But they're going out, right?
I mean, Messi is kind of having a not so good season. I mean, he's playing with so many veterans that I think that the pace of the game has changed, and they're not adopting to the change. Because Barcelona is like if you watch enough soccer, you understand that they like to slowly build up the play and do a lot of passing. And if you watch Barcelona play against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, this past Champions League, you understand that like there's a big difference in the style of the play, and you can see how one style just completely knocks out the other style, and then you can even see a glimpse of the other passing style. Like Barcelona will try to basically hold the ball and really build things really slow. And then Bayern would just apply an enormous amount of pressure, get the ball, and then they're like going to goal. Like there's no time to like.
Yeah, it's just
like,
fast.
It's very fast.
Fast break.
It's so fast, and like it was very sad to watch. For me, it was sad to watch because you always want to watch a competitive match, especially in the Champions League and at this stage, and with the names that you hear about, like these players who are like on this team and stuff like that, and they just get beat like 7-2.
Somewhere around that, man.
Was that the one where they were
that was in the semifinals, though.
That was
not the final. The finals was between Bayern and PSG.
Yeah, I was talking about the Barcelona match where they just got destroyed.
Yeah, they got destroyed 7-2. That was in the semifinal.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Was that the same one where they were winning or something, and then they?
No.
Nah,
that was a different one.
That
was 2018.
Yeah, that was when they played PSG.
Yeah.
That comeback was insane. I remember I was in college and I was sitting in class, and I was watching. I was not watching. Well, I would watch the highlights of the goals on Twitter, because every time, like, my phone was going off because every time they scored a goal, the highlight came through, and I'll watch it for like 20 seconds in class. You know what I mean? It was insane because, because before the game started, they were already down so many goals. So like, we're all like, okay, this is gonna, either they're gonna beat them really bad again, or it's gonna be an awesome game of a comeback. And I really wanted to see it, but I didn't. But at the same time, like, sport is so, like, that's why I like sports. And I watch and I watch a lot of sports too. I don't watch a lot of the NBA until like the playoffs. And I spent 1 year, I watched the World Series. And I was like, dang, this is taking some time. It is. But I kind of enjoyed watching it because the Cleveland Indians were playing. I think they're playing the Chicago Cubs. Yeah. And I had Italian in the morning at 8 a.m. and I was like, wow, I'm really staying up. But it was a fun experience because I had never watched baseball for that long ever. Like, it doesn't matter if like it's like the baseball all-star game. Like, I don't watch baseball because I just don't enjoy it that much. But I took the time to watch it, and it was so enjoyable. And I think part of it is because of the fact that there were people around me that wanted to see the outcome of it. And part of it, more people were expecting the outcome to go towards the Cleveland Indians because we're all from Ohio and we're rooting for Ohio team. So that was my first time watching baseball and actually enjoying watching baseball because I guess because of the event means more than like just like a regular season game. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about or mention?
We kind of touched bases with a lot of stuff you were talking about. Oh, so I was just gonna make a correction on something I said earlier about the Ballon d'Or winners for the last 10 years.
Okay, yeah.
I just looked it up. Only Luka Modric won it, in the past 10 years. So pretty much it's
the past 10 years.
The past 10 years it's been Cristiano or Messi. Cristiano or Messi. Luka Modric won it in 2018.
Yeah.
Even last year.
This past year they didn't give out a Ballon d'Or because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So this is the first time.
Season.
This past season.
Yeah, this is the first time they
are
giving it.
Last year, Ronaldo.
It was Messi.
Messi?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Really? No, that was Ronaldo.
Yeah, 2019 it was Messi.
Dang.
I felt like.
So the 2021 they were supposed to give out this year is the one they cancel out.
Okay.
So they if they're gonna give it again, it's gonna be 2021, but there's not gonna be Ballon d'Or winner for 2020.
Yeah.
Okay. When is the World Cup?
It was supposed to be this year, right?
Was it supposed to be this year?
No, the World Cup is gonna be 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the last one was 2018.
Where was
so
that?
the World Cup is.
Who was the current champ? Germany?
No. Oh shoot.
2018.
Oh, it was Croatia and who in the final? France.
France won.
Yeah.
France won it.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna get out early?
You talking about France?
Is it? I mean,
they still have a very talented squad.
Dude, they're
gonna break the curse.
I think Germany is pretty good.
Wait, for those who don't know what the curse is.
Oh, the curse, yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a known thing or not, but it's like the champions that win the World Cup, the following World Cup, They don't make it out of the group stages.
Okay. So there hasn't been a back-to-back
chat. Happened with Germany.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they made it out of the group stages, but they didn't go.
No, they didn't. They didn't make it.
Yeah, they didn't make it out of the group stages. So.
No. Yeah. I think.
Croatia had.
Mexico was in that, I think.
Yeah.
They got hyped because we beat them 1-0.
Let's go.
Mexico ranks.
I mean,
they rank 9 now. Number 9 in the world.
I mean, they
broke the top 10 now.
Pretty good players in there.
Yeah.
Mexico.
What's the name again? They have a striker and Wolf. What's the name again?
Raul Jimenez.
Yeah.
Or the
Wolves.
Yeah.
Oh, he's stupid.
Is that the?
And they have another.
Was the English league?
Yeah.
What's it called again?
The English Premier League.
Premier League. Yeah. That's a team from there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And there's some other players in what's the name again? In Spain too. I forgot their name. There's this winger. Is it Lozano?
Oh, Chucky Lozano. He's at Napoli, right?
Yeah, that's Italy.
Yeah, that's Italy.
Yeah, he's in Italy now.
Yeah.
So
there's one in Spain, I think.
Oh, really?
Well, I think we covered much of what we were able to. Hopefully everything works out with you. You achieve everything you want to achieve, and it, for the most part, I think how you're showing how your life has progressed. I feel like you're gonna end up reaching all those goals and fulfilling like what you want to do, having a nice family, and also being with them, and then also helping out the future generations.
Yeah, I think it's exciting that you're going to be involved in an area where you can get some of these athletes that actually do want to, at least give them the chance. You know what I mean? And then once they have the chance and they want to keep playing and getting better, they have the option. And if they don't want to, then they can find another outlet. But I think that everybody is going to go through some journey at some point. We went through a journey and we all got tested through that journey in the quarantine because I was doing I was the tennis club closed. I'm doing DoorDash. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna do DoorDash, but I hated it. And so now you're moving on to a new path, and you're gonna learn so much stuff being around those people, going through your own challenges. And I think I wish you well, and hopefully you can find a lot of happiness there and find something to do to occupy your mind so that you don't go crazy with just like get working so much. Because, as much as we all unfortunately have bought into this idea of getting a job and all that stuff, we at some point we all want to be in a position where we can relax. You know what I mean?
Is there anything you want to shout out or say?
Well, I'll just say just keep recording and just keep up the good work and just trying to enlighten people. I mean, you get there. Daniel is originally from West Africa. You from Mexico.
Yeah.
You all now having to be in a different culture here, so just keep enlightening the people.
Yeah.
And just giving good vibes.
And
thank you.
And hopefully our listeners learn a lot from Abass and learn a lot about the difference between coming from a different country, and learning maybe some of the things were kind of similar to my experiences or yours in a sense, but also it's always good to hear new stories and hear what people are really about versus hearing it from other outlets that can have bias or stuff like that.
Yeah, it's always good to hear other perspectives because not everyone's life is the same.
Yeah.
Everyone is different in so many ways. And yours, I mean, we never got to become friends or talk as much, but even listening to what you said in a short amount of time, it's a very interesting, fun life.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one.
All right.
All right. Thank you.